witness, so I have no idea. But I take it on faith, it happened. But if it happened, does it has the science to support? So, based on the more maybe recent or the Western kind of findings, there might be possibility, this alternative kind of science. But mainstream science still maybe not so like.
So once he do that, he can speak. After that, he become a normal baby again. Is it happening
Not
like
mentioned.
that?
Not mentioned.
Not mentioned, yeah. Unclear. Because I also heard that the ancient India people like to dramatize things, to make it like the wow effect, the magical effect that they emphasize, so that people have the good feel and believe in it.
Yeah, there is also another possibility. So we can take a range of explanations, and again, it's up to you to believe which one. Yeah, of course, if a person just solely take everything as dramatized, then and let's say if a person is new to the faith and let's say they know nothing about Buddhism, and they take everything is dramatized. Heaven is dramatized, rebirth is dramatized. Yeah, these different levels of concentration dramatized. Enlightenment also dramatized. How can it be possible a person have no craving? Or how can it be possible a person have no hatred? Dramatized, just a metaphor only. Yeah? So again, it's up to individual to take the range, and in the end, it's still up to oneself to experience.
So Bante, this means that we cannot take things too literally in the commentaries. We can not everything we can take it literally, is it?
Yeah, we can. Again, everything is subjected to investigation, and of course, commentaries is also passed down initially from word of mouth, just like the suttas, and commentaries came after the suttas, like officialized, like in the King Asoka's period. Yeah.
Because my knowledge is very limited. Is Buddha Gosa the author of the Tipitaka? Is he the one who is he?
Buddha, no, he's the author of this his own book called the Visuddhimagga. So it's more like around, if I'm not wrong, maybe 400 to 600 years after the Buddha's passing. So by then, the Sri Lankan Tipitaka was already like written down. So his job is basically to translate the commentaries from that Tipitaka, the commentaries. So he translated a large amount of commentaries, and he decided to come up with his own book called the Visuddhimagga. So that's like his personal kind of thesis, which most of the Theravada Buddhist communities are using today. So it's a scholarly piece of work, but people use it for meditation. Okay, all right, it's 8:30. Any issues? If not, we can start.
Sukiotu and good evening, everyone. Welcome to MSBS Weekly Guided Meditation by Phra Goh. Today is the 1st of June, 2021. We are very fortunate to have with us Bhante Adhibalo, popularly known as Phra Goh. Bhante was born on July 14, 1985, and had his bhikkhu ordination into the Theravada tradition of Thai Dhamma sect at Sati Forest Monastery, Johor, Malaysia in 2008. Bhante is currently the religious advisor to Buddhist Youth Network Singapore. This week, we are continuing the Vesak theme. Bhante will be sharing on the life of Buddha Siddhartha Gautama. Bhante will be leading the homage to the Buddha and taking our 5 precepts for Buddhists. Now let us compose our minds, put our palms together, and welcome Bhante. Over to you, Bhante.
All right, thank you, Terence, for the intro, so we shall start with the opening chant, homage. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Three refuges. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatayampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatayampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatayampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Right, the 5 precepts. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so good evening, brothers and sisters of the Dharma once again. We are reliving Vesak Day. Actually, this talk is on Vesak Day. This is a series on the Buddha's life, 3 events: birth, enlightenment, and the passing away into the Parinibbana. So last week we talked about the birth. So today we'll carry on the journey and talk about his path to enlightenment, the journey, the steps he took. It's not like enlightenment is just like instant. You just sit under the tree and then you got enlightened. No, there is like a series of events. Of course, we exclude the many lifetimes of training as a bodhisattva, the things he cultivated in the heaven, in the Tusita, and so on. So if you want to talk about this lifetime, yeah, so the what spurred him was the supposedly the 4 sights. 4 sights. Yeah, he saw this aging man, sick man, number 2, sick man, 3, dead person, and the 4th sight is he saw a monk. He saw a renunciate. So these are the 4 sights which made him kind of contemplate. So why these 4? Yeah, and I think that the number 4th sight is the most important sight. It kind of gives a direction. Right, without the 4th sight, I think anybody, if we, let's say we don't refer to any religion or religious teaching or religious figures, what we'll be thinking, or if I'm old, what's my retirement plan? Will my insurance have enough to cover me? And these are the things to contemplate if we not see these sights or when we worry about these few things. And if I'm sick, what do you worry if you're sick? Same thing, medical bills, who's going to look after me, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, so so there is the kind of reference point, a reference point. He needs certain kind of right view. Certain kind of right view. So for the case of the Bodhisattva, this Prince Gautama, right? He had a reference point in this monk renunciation. So that is very crucial for the foresights. And so when he saw these four things, then he went back to the palace and he was contemplating, one day, all of us will perish and grow old, get sick, and pass away. Right? So he needs to find an answer. So he decided to leave the palace at age of 29. At age of 29, he left the palace and he went through this asceticism. He shaved off his head in the middle picture. And he went through 6 years of this ascetic practice. So the first, there are many teachers at that time. There are many ascetic teachers. So the more popular school of thought, one school believes in entering deep states of concentration. It's like freezing your karma, freezing your karma. So he went to learn from two teachers, this Alara Kalama and the second ascetic, this Udaka Ramaputta. These two ascetics known to enter very deep states of concentration. So this Alara Kalama at least at that point of time, he sort of discovered this realm of nothingness. Realm of nothingness. So it's a meditative state, a formless concentration. If you want to talk about 8 jhanas, so that is the number 7th. The number 7th level of concentration called the realm of nothingness. So he was expounding it and he was like the leader, he's a teacher. So of course our ascetic Gautama, he was learning from this teacher, and then somehow he surpassed the teacher. He learned what he could, then he meditated, then he found out that you cannot calm the mind forever. You cannot still the formations forever. Like right now, we are listening, then there's formations, there's movement. You need to go to the washroom, there's movement. You need to eat, there's movement. So you cannot have total stillness. You cannot freeze karma totally. So that was his issue with that philosophy. So he decided to leave. So this first teacher, Alara Kalama, told our ascetic Gautama Buddha or Bodhisattva at the time that, okay, you can become a teacher together with me. Alara Kalama offer a second position. We can be equals, can be teachers, and teach this our congregation of meditators or followers, right? So this is the proposal by Alara Kalama, and he refused. He wanted to learn something higher. So he went to this second teacher called this Udaka Ramaputta. Udaka Ramaputta, which at that time he sort of discovered or rediscovered this 8th level of jhana called the neither perception nor non-perception. Very confusing name, right? So again, this is a meditative state and experience, not a theory. So he went and learned under this teacher and managed again to surpass the teacher. And same thing, discovered, no, you cannot calm the mind forever. Even in that highest level of concentration, you still need to move around, get on your daily life. You cannot have this stillness the whole day. So something is wrong in the philosophy, right? So he decided to again approach the teacher, ask for his leave, and this Udaka Ramaputta made him a better offer. That is to become the teacher. Become the teacher. That means this ascetic Gautama should lead the entire congregation. So this Udaka Ramaputta sort of offered to step down and become like the disciple. So there are a few interpretations. If I'm not wrong, this venerable Bodhi, who translated a lot of the suttas, if I'm not wrong, he mentioned that this Udaka Ramaputta hasn't reached this state yet. Hasn't reached this neither perception or non-perception. Right? So it's like still exploring, But hey, this ascetic Gautama achieved it. So let him become the teacher. So either case, whether he achieved it or not, still not the end goal. Still not the end goal, right? So he decided to leave and decided to go to the other popular school of thought, which is to burn the karma. Burn the karma. So these practices require self-torture, right? Burn away all the bad karma to purify yourself. So they sort of paid for it. I mean, pay in advance. And they torture themselves. So they tried all the different various kinds of ascetic practices, including very severe kind of fasting until, okay, I'm so sorry, my earpiece is out of battery. Okay, can you hear me? You can hear me, yeah? Okay, that's great. Okay, so I shall continue. Right, so he went to the other school of thought, tortured himself for 6 years, and we have this, according to the third picture, these few fellows on the ground. These are like his attendants, right? These are the people, the astrologers who sort of predicted that he will become Buddha. This ascetic Gautama will become a Buddha when he was still a baby. So this group of astrologers, this Brahmin astrologers, followed him, intending or they have this expectation that once ascetic Gautama becomes a Buddha, right, they shall be the first audience. They'll be the first to receive the teachings, right? But somehow he gave up hope. Right? He's about to die. He's starving and fasting. And they said that when he touched his stomach, used his finger and touched his stomach, he can feel his spinal cord. Right? It's so skinny that can feel his spinal cord. So thin, about to die. And throughout the journey, interestingly, in the midst of fasting, there were devas, heavenly beings that offered to let him eat heavenly honey. That means infuse heavenly nectar into his skin so that he can live without food. So it may sound very mythical, but there's actually a solid case in these modern times. You can Google this fella, this yogi called Prahlad Jani, Pralad Jani. He fasted for 60 years, no food, no water. At least, yeah, no food, no water. So he's been put into this hospital. He's been tested. There's cameras everywhere. No, at least 1 or 2 weeks. So he does normal things. Sit on a rocking chair, read his book. No, never eat anything. Yeah, so he can do it. Okay. So he's been fed. According to the interview, this yogi has been fed with heavenly food. This deity appeared in his meditation and said, "Okay, from now on, you shall not. You don't need to eat." And then give him this heavenly recharge. So he don't need to eat. 60 over years, don't need to eat. So this ascetic Gautama also been offered this proposal to put heavenly food into him. Then he refused. He said, "Don't play cheat. He want to go through the normal way." Yeah. So he did fasted and about to die. Then this you can see the character on the top right, this heavenly being playing a musical instrument. This, if I'm not wrong, is Brahma Sampati, heavenly beings in charge of inviting the Buddhas to teach. So you have seen the past few Buddhas before, how they practice and struggle and reach enlightenment. So he was observing this ascetic Gautama and was like, oh no, he's like going to die already, but still haven't discovered the truth. So he decided to, help him a bit, manifest himself as a musician and made some remarks. And so first he tuned the string instrument very loosely, and then he remarked that, if the instrument too loose, you cannot play any music. And then he deliberately tuned the instrument too tight, and he snapped. And he also remarked, also cannot play any music once you snap the string. So somehow this statement gave this our ascetic Gautama an insight, some tada, a light bulb appear, and he discovered, oh no, yeah, if he's about to die, it's like tuning yourself too tight. You snap, and then that's it. You cannot play the music anymore. You cannot cultivate anymore. You cannot find the truth. And if it's too loose, that means it's like when he was still in his youth, enjoying himself in the sensuality, in the palace, or the entertainment. Also, you cannot strive the spiritual path. So he decided to take food, and these attendants, the 5 Brahmin astrologers, abandoned him. And they thought he gave up the quest for enlightenment. But no, he was changing strategy. Yeah, so he started to take the food. And the next slide. Right, so again, on the picture on the left, this a lady mistaken the ascetic Gautama to be this tree deity, tree spirit. That time he was still very skinny, so fed him. And this time round, the heavenly beings decided to just put heavenly nectar into the rice, put heavenly food into the rice, and he ate. He regained his strength, and over time, I think he became normal, gained back his weight and his health. And he decided, to put this bowl on this stream, this river, on the picture on the right, is very important story. So this is very important. So according to the story, it mentions that he made a vow, that if he is able to reach enlightenment, may the bowl flow upstream against the stream. So he put the bowl on the river, and true enough, the bowl went against the stream. And according to the story, the bowl went to the origin, the source of the stream, and fell and hit 3 other bowls. And that awakened a sleeping Naga that was like guarding that spot or his residence over there. And then he made a remark, okay, another Buddha is going to arise. So this serpent or this Naga happened to witness 3 other previous Buddha's bowl fell into that particular stream. And again, the same history repeating itself. Our current historical Buddha's bowl fell into that stream. Okay, so aside from the story, we can break it down analytically, at least metaphorically, and bring it to the spiritual practice. So this is a very deep and profound significance. So what it means, like in our meditation or in our daily life, every time we have this stream of desire, like seeing, hearing, smelling, listening to what I'm talking about, we are always engaging. There's always desire, at least invisible kind of desire, flowing through the sense doors. So normally in meditation, we always start off with this loving kindness and impermanence. And what happens is when desire is reduced, we're actually trying to go against this stream. And if, let's say, you are successful, or if you're sensitive enough, you're able to feel this desire as a form of tension, a form of at least some elements, some density there. It can be hard, can be soft, whatever it is. So there's a certain kind of density that comes in the form of these formations, this desire. And if the mind settles, you can feel this sort of tension moving against the stream of desire, if you contemplate correctly. And once you react with the sense desire, you react with the sense contact, again, it flows with the desire. And there's like a certain journey, like a certain length, just like the river, there's like a certain journey. It's not like you contemplate once and that's it. No, so there's it's a long journey, it's a long river. So you need to discover where is the source, where's the source of the stream, right? So a lot of times, even in the Buddha's enlightenment, He wants to find the house builder. Who is the house builder? Where is the house builder? Where's the origin? Where's the source? Right. So again, the snake has another symbolic meaning. After the Buddha gained enlightenment, there's a depiction of him being sheltered by another serpent king. So it's a symbolic gesture of the 7 factors of enlightenment, the 7-headed snake. Right. So it's a very significant and profound event in the Buddha's life, very deep meaning. You can take it and reflect and also observe in your daily activities that transpires. Even right now, you can observe where is this stream heading? Is it heading towards the mouth of the river, or is it going towards the source of the river? So you need to observe that. So that's like the 4 noble truth kind of meditation. The stronger the stream, the stronger the craving, the more tension there is, the more stress. Right? So it takes people with certain level of insight, certain level of right view to be able to want to overcome this. If a person doesn't have the view to want to reduce desire, and to them, desire very normal or desire very pleasurable. No, life still goes on. You feel a bit of stress. That's normal. That's part of life. No, you just carry on, right? But if let's say you are really intending to find the solution to this stress and suffering, then you need to be able to see this. So this is the important factor. So hopefully this might answer Terrence's question from earlier, because a lot of the previous topics are very repetitive. How to know one is Satipatthana, right? So if a person is unable to see the Four Noble Truths, unable to know what is suffering and want to end this stress or suffering, then quite far off. So at least there must be a path to this stream entry. So why is it called a stream entry? Because it's a stream. There's a river, it's a stream. You need to enter this stream. You need to put the bowl there. If you do not put the bowl there and you do not see it travel against the stream, then you haven't entered the stream, right? So this is the significant symbolic event, right? And I'm going to move on to the next slide. So again, this is the few pictures. One depicting the eve of enlightenment. So the first diagram is the eve of enlightenment, where he decided to recall his past lives. Yeah, he wants to find this real cause. Why? Where's the origin of this suffering? Where did it start? So he looked and looked and many past lives, looked many times. No answer. Cannot find. Right? So he looked for 91 eons at least. Yeah, in the suttas mentioned 91 eons. Cannot find. That means endless. There's beginningless cycles of birth and death. So he find no point finding. Then, but he found a pattern. He found a pattern. What causes a good birth? What kind of desire produces good birth? What kind of karma? What kind of action lead to bad rebirth? So he has gone through all the ups and downs in samsara, planes of existence. Hell, he's been before. Animal, been before. Ghost, been before. Heavenly being, he's been there before. So human beings, of course, been there before. So he's been through most of the realms up and down, and he decided to do a cross-reference. So he decided to look into other beings' past lives. So he looked into other beings, same pattern, yeah, good karma, good rebirth, bad karma, bad rebirth. So, but then this karma is desire, yeah. So he wanted to find how to totally overcome this birth and death. That means how to have no more future rebirth. So he has to tackle this karmic creation, which is the cause of suffering, which is desire. So in last year's talk on the series of karma, right? The cause of suffering is creation of new karma, which is our craving, right? So from there, then he slowly figured out what is the Four Noble Truth, and then Viola, he discovered this enlightenment. So this is just a very brief story, but of course the whole journey requires him to redo the jhanas from number 1 to 4. So when his mind is equanimous, at the fourth jhana, at the fourth level of concentration, then he decided to look into the past lives. And once he found out that, okay, you need to look further into this craving, then he decided to go into all the way to the 8th jhana. So some of you might be thinking, hey, he's done that before, the previous ascetic practice, and he found that, hey, that's not the way. Then why did he still enter jhanas? Right? So this time, he changed his mental attitude, his mental position towards the jhanas. Right? He decided not to cling. That's why in the first sermon of the Buddha, he mentioned is bhava tanha, clinging. So the first school of thought believe in clinging to that state, this quiet state, and staying with that for a very long time. So that is the first school of thought which he abandoned. So adopting the middle way, that means avoiding the extremes, these postures of clinging to this stillness, or clinging to sensual pleasures, to the six senses, or clinging to aversion, rejection, and self and this torture. So he doesn't reject, doesn't cling, and maintain a kind of neutral, middle state of mind while entering this concentration. So he transcended this 8th level of concentration, and Viola attained this thing called cessation. So again, this cessation comes with this in the middle diagram. It may not be instant, this cessation. It may take, who knows, a number of days. So according to the story, this Mara, this heavenly being, in Buddhism is the evil one. So there are heavenly beings who are evil. So this is like the very evil deity that is very possessive and wants to take control of this world, doesn't want people to escape from this birth and death, the cycle of birth and death. He wants people to generate desire and craving and stay in this world. So at the eve of, or at the enlightenment, or eve of enlightenment, the Mara made a deal. He wanted to negotiate with the Buddha to be, said, okay, you give up your quest for this enlightenment thing, I give you what you want. You want to be a wheel-turning monarch, universal conqueror, universal king, or you want the most beautiful women in the world, or money, wealth, whatever you want, he can give it to him. So he sort of rejected the offer. So when all the diplomacy fails, then this Mara decided to send his soldiers to attack the Buddha. So he sent his forces, the demons, it's a heavenly realm, so shouldn't be calling demons. It's heavenly soldiers to attack the Buddha. And what the Buddha did is, if you look at the diagram, there are many different versions of stories. So according to this version, he touched the ground and asked the earth goddess to be the witness. Because the past Buddhas have done it before. This is his seat. Nobody else should be taking over this seat. So he shall remain unmoved. And this earth goddess came and flushed away the armies of this Mara. Right. So again, similar symbolic and deep, profound meaning. So again, water is being used. So just like earlier on, we talked about the stream. So you need to flush away these defilements and go against the charging armies, against the direction of charging armies, and flush them away. So this is, at least I take it symbolically, There's a deep meaning to it. But if you want to take it literally, yeah, why not? Right? So this is the story. It's 9:05. I'm going to end the short sharing. I can actually go on. Buddha's life story very long. I think I shall end here so that we have more to talk about next week. Okay, any questions on the floor or on the comments on Facebook? Or you can type it over here in the chat.
I think I have one.
Yeah, Jan can ask first. Yeah.
Okay, Bante, according to Jataka, right? During the career, so-called the career, the lives of the Bodhisattva, so he has become many things, like animals, birds, maybe elephants or the deers, and so on. So in order to become an animal, right, it means he need to do a bad karma, right? So that he can become going into that state of mind, and then so there are good and bad are mixed because he need to. What is the motivation? Is it that he want to experience many kinds of life, many kinds of realms, so that he can understand the whole thing? What do you think about that?
Yeah, this is again a very debatable topic. So if let's say a person, let's say want to take the Bodhisattva ideology, then maybe they need to go through all these up and down and experience all these realms. Then again, if let's say the Mahayana schools, they have alternative options. They can just skip all this nonsense and just go to Pure Land, where they have express training. Right? So again, they have different takes. So maybe, my point of view might be he hasn't started this bodhisattva path, as in he hasn't made any vows. Maybe, he hasn't made a vow yet. So it could be, before he met, or had this aspiration to sort of, become Buddha. So because we have infinite past lives, so who knows? But of course, these Jataka tales have like a moral of the story. There's like a bit like a fable, and there's a moral of the story. So normally these are like the good qualities he might have picked up, certain traits, certain virtues he has picked up, and might help in his character development and be build up to his habitual karma in his future lives.
So what we are saying is that once he declare he wants to become a Sama Sambuddha, then he only become a human and above. Is it what you're saying?
No, not necessary. Not necessary.
So you are saying that because just now you mentioned possibility that at the time that he has not declared his intention to become a Sama Sambuddha, then become animal and so on, right? But he never mentioned that he went to hell. It's only animal, human, devas, all this.
Yeah, so again, in the suttas, it's not really mentioned when he took the vow aspiration. Yeah, no mention in the sutta. So he just mentioned, he has gone through ups and downs in all the realms of existence except for the pure abodes. Because if it's a pure abode, then it's anagami already.
When people do that, right, then he need to kind of maintain his the path, right? So what is his guiding path in order to be there, because if you become animal, you cannot learn many good things. Just then all this like straying, here and there. I will be worried if become animal, that you cannot learn Dhamma.
Sometimes in life, we might do certain mistakes, and then who knows, maybe he had done certain mistakes in the past and maybe reborn as animal, but that doesn't mean an animal doesn't have certain beliefs, certain moral virtues. So nowadays you can see a lot of viral videos of maybe animals maybe rescuing human babies or maybe rescuing somebody else. So they're doing good deeds. So it's live footage, live evidence. So at least in the modern times, we know animals can perform good. And they're not trained. Wild animals might be doing it.
Okay, Bante. Thank you.
Okay, all right. No problem. Any other questions or comments?
I think I want.
Yeah.
Okay, just now you mentioned for the first to fourth jhana, when did he discover it?
Okay. He first discovered the first jhana when he was still a boy, 7 years old. Yeah, when he was sort of supposed to attend the plowing festival, but then he skipped the entire process and he straight off observed a few things, went under a tree, watched his breath, and entered the first level of concentration. So of course, when he was during the ascetic practices, when he gave up the extremes and decided to try the middle path or try the moderation, and he reevaluated, okay, how to practice this middle way. So he recalled when he was still a boy, he did the first jhana. So he decided, okay, why not just go along with that? And that moment, at least recorded in the scripture, right? He had to refer when he was still a boy, plowing festival incident to do the first jhana. So it kind of implies that the ascetic teachers at that time did not teach the form jhanas. Did not teach the form jhanas. The first to four might be, or there's high chance, discovered by the Buddha. So a lot of the pre-Buddhist kind of practices like mantra recitation, can be reciting of any mantra, any deities, or even the Buddha or the Bodhisattva, any kind of mantra, that alone can enter formless concentration without combining with breath, without any mixture, just purely recitation of mantra repetitively can enter into formless concentration. So most of the yogis at the time probably had entered this perception of infinite consciousness. So that's why when he met the two ascetic teachers, this Alara Kalama, he rediscovered something higher. So that's why he was popular. He discovered this realm of nothingness, one step higher than this perception of infinite consciousness. So that's why he has a certain following. And then there's another teacher even higher than that. So he has another following. Buddhaka Buddha taught this realm of neither perception or non-perception. So that was at least the context I understand. Yeah. Hopefully that answers your question, right? Yeah. So the first four jhana technique discovered by the Buddha. Then again, is a very endangered technique. Although discovered by the Buddha, not many practitioners know how to use the breath and enter first, second, third, and the fourth level of concentration. There are schools that use the breath, but maybe just do vipassana only, or maybe some do use the breath, and then maybe they combine with light nimitta and then do something else. So different version, different branches, variation. But regardless of the variations, with or without the jhanas, again, there are 84,000 Dharma doors. We talked in the previous series on the different traditions, same liberation. As long as a person has the Eightfold Path, the right thought, then very possible. Okay, any other questions? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just now you mentioned about Brahma Sampati, right? He has an assignment to remind the Buddha about when he tried to become an enlightened, right? So at that point of time, right, does the Brahma Sampati already a Satipatthana?
Might be.
So, okay, what does it mean that during the in between, right, one Buddha to another Buddha, when the Buddha Sasana is declined from the third to fourth, right, the Buddha Gautama. So there is a holy being there, actually.
Yeah. Their lifespan is like at least for an entire eon. So depending on which realm, like the higher realm, Brahma worlds, they might last several eons.
So meaning that in the Brahma world, you can be a Sotapanna, then you actually encompasses, few Buddhas.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
still a
Maybe many
Sotapanna.
Buddhas.
So actually, there is not really the word, the saying that there is a period of darkness, that there is no holy being, there
Might
is
be
no teaching
possible.
of the Buddha.
There's a period of darkness if one to follow the sutta calculation.
Does it
Even-
refer to the world, or does it refer to the universe?
Universe, at least from the Theravada standpoint. If you want to talk about one monoverse, yeah, but if you want to talk about if it's Mahayana tradition, they talk about multiverses.
Okay, it means that let's say a Sotapanna in the Brahma world of Brahma Sampati encompasses many Buddhas, right? He's assigned to do something, Then in this case, it's not true that in between era there is no holy being. There is somebody actually already Sotapanna, because there is the belief that in between there is nobody, no holy being, no holy. Yeah.
Hard to say, because we do not know the exact lifespan of this Brahma Sampati, whether did he upgrade or did he get reborn again and retain the pose or whatever it is. So this is a lot of speculation. But you're going to talk about the suttas alone, when we talk about the Buddha recalling 91 eons of past lives, he recalled at least only 7 Buddhas, or at least past 6 Buddhas. So there are 3 Buddhas already in this eon, and then the rest of the 90 eons is spread around just 3 Buddhas. 3 Buddhas spread around 90 eons.
Wow.
So there are many eons without Buddhas.
Wow. Meaning this eon is very special. We have 5.
So it's like the fortunate eon.
91 eon only have 7 Buddha.
Yeah.
But this eon have 5. So the other have only 4.
Yeah, the future Buddha will be 5. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, this is very special then.
Hmm.
Okay, but that is something new.
Yep.
Only 7. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Bante.
Yeah.
This is about Mara, the evil being.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. If Mara is an existing higher being, but he's a malevolent. He's a malevolent higher being. So because due to his bad karma of wanting to deter, to hinder the Buddha from his quest for enlightenment, so Mara, if Mara is a being, then he himself is subjected to he himself is also subject to the rebirth in the realm of samsara. So Mara, so from your point of view, is Mara still Mara himself, still what he is, or is he now probably being reborn in the lower realm?
Yeah, this maybe there's a particular group or species, that require craving or desire in these realms to fuel their civilization. So it's more like dependent on cravings of others to survive. Yeah, so they may not do it out of real evil intention. Right? They may not like hinder or dissuade the Buddha out of real evil intention. Maybe it's for survival. Yeah, maybe. So this is no, that's why they can be reborn in the heavenly realm. Yeah? So this is at least my opinion. Of course, this title of the evil one may not be fixated on one particular being. There, it can be passed down and handed over to other beings as well. So the once their lifespan is up, then other beings can take up this role as like a negotiator with the Buddha. All right.
Bante,
Yeah.
I think there's a misconception that people equates the Mara as the devil in Christianity.
Mhm.
I think there's a misconception there.
Yeah, because a lot of religions have this concept of the devil. Yeah? So, so again, it's because it's an unseen realm. You know, most of us, or even I myself, can't see it. So it's speculation. So if you want to believe he's a devil, then by all means. But it's displaced in a different place, a different zone. So, like in the case for Buddhism, the Mara is in the heavenly, one of the heavenly realms, and we do have somebody in the sort of in the hell, equivalent to like the devil. We call this the Yama, Lord Yama. Yeah. Interestingly, Yama is also a being, a realm in the heavenly world called the Yama realm. Yeah. So who knows where is heaven or hell? Maybe hell is not down there. Hell is also upstairs. Different. Since if you believe the world is round, then there's no up or down. And the world globe is spinning all the time. It can be any place up there. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully my opinion confused you enough to stop speculating. And any other questions?
One day I was given to understand that Mara is actually a metaphor to represent the craving and the restlessness in us when we are doing our meditation. So I was given to understand that it's actually a metaphor.
Yeah, that also, that too.
The actual Mara is in the heavenly realms, but the Mara is used as something to depict our
Inner desires, inner craving.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was given to understand that.
Yeah, the sutras did mention that when we talk about the diagram earlier, you know, the flushing with all the soldiers, the Mara soldiers. So the Buddha, I think one of the sutras did mention all the soldiers are the different defilements like jealousy, greed, all those stuff. Yeah. So it can be taken as a metaphor as well. All right. Any other questions?
Yes, Bante, another one. Yes. Regarding the 31 planes of existence, the realm you mentioned earlier, the realm of neither perception or non-perception.
Yeah.
Yes, so this is the highest state of the 31 planes of existence. So this is not equated to where this is not equated to Nibbana, is it?
Yeah,
Or-
it's the highest realm within samsara, still within this realm of existence.
But
So,
Nibbana has already transcended beyond samsara, right?
yeah, correct.
So what because the final four realms of the 31 planes of existence, these four final realms, these four highest realms, namely the Arupaloka, the formless realm, the realm of no form, immaterial form. So what kind of beings reside in this realm?
The formless realm, those are the people who cling on to these formless jhanas. So if they do enter these formless levels of concentration, and actually they're producing karma. Yeah, so there are many kinds of karmic creations, and if a person doesn't let go or do something more meritorious or create enough good karma, then of course when the lifespan ends, they might be reborn somewhere else. So of course, being a high realm over there, then there's high chance to go down.
Is it possible to achieve jhana in the manusa loka, in the human realm? Is it possible to achieve the jhana?
Yeah, that's what the Buddha did and all the
Yes, I'm
disciples
sorry.
did. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Have you ever encountered when you do an interview on the yogis, when you review the yogis, when they report their experience to you, have they ever reported about when they are deeply immersed, deeply absorbed in the meditation, to the point that they do not have they no longer have the notion of their body. They no longer have the idea of the body. They do not know they don't know their body parts. They no longer feel they have a head. They no longer feel they have a limbs, legs, and so on and so forth. All they know is the mind that is knowing the rising and falling of the breathing. And then when they end their practice, they have this some sort of temporary amnesia. So I'm just wondering whether have you ever encountered this?
Okay. Yeah, there are a variety of different experiences, like what you mentioned, like the disappearing of certain parts of the body, quite common with a lot of meditators. But I don't take this as a benchmark or criteria for concentration. I will just use the jhanic factors. Is there joy or happiness? Is there equanimity? Is your mind still at a one-pointedness? That kind of stuff. So these are the standard guidelines. Anything else is very subjective, very relative to every individual.
I see. Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? So what Yiling has brought up is a very good point, because a lot of schools, right, do not teach the level by level jhanas. It's a very endangered knowledge. Yeah, it's like disappearing. Nobody knows. So if a person enter quietness, hey, is it? Oh, what level? They don't know, but they know it's quiet. So this is the norm now. Yeah. Okay, if there's any questions. If not, we can take a break. Today, long discussion. Not enough time to meditate. Yeah. Okay, so 5-minute break to do your stretching or go to the washroom. Then I'll see you back 5 minutes later for the guided session. Yeah, I think there's 1 more minute. Oh, okay, time's up. We'll wait for the rest to come back. So while waiting for the rest to return, those who are here, any further questions or any issues?
I just want to ask the retreat on the 26th is based on what topic?
Yeah, very good point. Yeah, I haven't came up with the topic, so you all can suggest. So healing is strongly welcome if you want to talk about entering concentration. So this is the best opportunity. We have lots of time to at least can try out this concentration. Because usually these sessions a bit short. Yeah.
She's the first to sign up.
First sign up. Okay.
Yes, Bante. Until now, I haven't received a confirmation email.
Okay. So Terence must reply, is it?
It's by Zoom itself. It's auto reply.
You still have registration? Oh, I forgot.
No, just a name and email will do.
Okay, all right. I take everyone is back, so we can turn off your microphones. Okay, so today we are trying to observe the stream. Yeah, observe the stream of desire, which is again, the bowl is actually the demarcation of where you have detached. The stream is always flowing, yeah, the stream is always flowing, but how far you detach, how far you go against the stream is demarked by the bowl or your awareness of this detached mind. So maybe not everyone can feel it, but if you can feel it, then that's great. So what we're doing is find a comfortable sitting position, make sure your body relaxed, back is upright. Before we do any formal meditation, if let's say throughout the day you're not mindful, then this is the starting point. Okay, what is this state of mind? So it's mindfulness of mind states, right? Mind with greed, mind with hatred, mind with delusion. So what we are starting off with, we reduce the aversion first with loving kindness. Like you want to run an engine, you need to put lubricant, or before exercise, you do some stretching. So loving kindness is something like that. Yeah, you need to soften up the mind. So we are going to wish the entire body well and happy. So from head to toe, and there's no need to visualize. Yeah? We're trying to reduce as much sense door contact as possible. So we just use sensation. If you're using visualization, you're using mind door, then more chance for the stream to flow. Yeah? So every time you experience a new sensation arising, you have to wish it well and happy. So to practice the middle way, yeah, we're avoiding these few extremes. So number one is we do not purposely create the sensation arising. Let it happen by itself. So this is number one. Number two is don't cling onto the sensation. That is the thing. And number three, don't reject or try to eliminate the sensation if it arises. Yeah, so let it come and go by itself naturally. treat all the sensations as passerby. But anytime a new sensation arises, we need to have this right thought, yeah, of loving kindness. May this sensation be well and happy. So you do this from head to toe. And of course, see whether you can observe any reduction of tension, keeping track of the stream. Yeah? And you need to evaluate, is the mind more peaceful with more right thought, going closer to the source of the stream, and normally I always like to mention, never leave the mind idle. Once you leave the mind idle, you get carried away with the stream. Stream of desire will pull you back to square one. So it's a tug of war between Mara and the Buddha. Okay, once you introduce loving kindness to soften up the mind, then we introduce thoughts of non-greed. And all these sensations of the body go through birth and death. It means all the sensations arises and passes away. And they come and go. So you just add to this contemplation. So loving kindness is one. You add on with this birth and death. Then you can also keep track of the stream and see whether is there more detachment or more attachment. So for those who are able to locate the tension on the bowl that is traveling along the stream, do not have any preconceived idea on where is the end point, yeah? Or where is the source. Keep an open mind and keep investigating, keep generating right thought, and just observe how it flows. So the mind will actually settle to a point where it's quite stable, yeah? Where the rate of settling is like very negligible. So this is the one-pointedness that we are looking out for. One-pointedness of the mind. The one-pointedness that is devoid of the five aggregates. So we are not like fixing on any particular breath points, right? So the calming is an indicator, and foundation is generating this impermanence. I need you to remember this emotion, right? It's just calmness at base level, calmness at desire realm. And continue to be mindful of impermanence and mindful of this state of mind. Then what we can do next is renounce this desire realm. Yeah, how to renounce? Just make a wish to let go of this state of mind, like a child letting go of a balloon. And the mind will actually evolve naturally by itself. And if it has evolved to a different level, and there should be a different emotion as indicator. So be mindful of these emotions. So theoretically, it's called joy and happiness. You just know as pleasant emotion, pleasant experience. So you just be mindful of this emotion and also continue to be mindful of impermanence. And new sensation arise, impermanent, new sensation, impermanence. Wherever your attention lands, no need to purposely fixate. So be mindful of the bowl settling, right? Because even in concentration, one can also cling and attach. Yeah? When a person cling and attach in concentrated states, there can also be suffering. So you need to have a few criteria in place, the stability point of the mind, which is the settling of the mind to the rate where the settling is negligible. And you need to remember this emotion on this particular level. And of course, not forgetting impermanence. And we can experiment and we can let go, renounce this first level. Same thing, just like a child letting go of a balloon. You just release the mind, yeah? And the mind will evolve naturally by itself. No need to push or do anything. And you just observe the changes. And if you have arrived at a different level, then it will be a slightly different emotion. Still pleasant, but slightly more intense. Because we have removed this certain thinking barrier, that sort of clouds the emotion. So this barrier is called this vitaka vichara, thought processes that cloud the emotions. And so you can be aware of these emotions and continue mindful of impermanence for the mind to settle, not cling on this. If you think your mind is rather settled, then you can remember this emotion and not forgetting this impermanence. Okay, then we can make a wish to go the reverse order, yeah, go down back to level 1. Observe how the mind collapses and any change in this emotion. Yeah, aware of this emotion and continue mindful of impermanence. And if you think your mind is calm, and remember this emotion and the impermanence. And then we are going back down to level 0, and back to ground level. And if you are back at the base level or the desire level, then this joy or happiness should be gone. Yeah. So continue to maintain mindfulness of this impermanence to uncling the mind. Okay, so while being mindful of this impermanence, whatever we do, stand, sit, walk, lying down, yeah, always mindful of this impermanence. Then we can gently open our eyes, physically end the session, but still meditating actually, yeah? Mentally still meditating. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Very brief and short introduction to very low levels of concentration. Okay, any issues or questions? Okay, if not, then we end the session. And we can dedicate the merits. Akasata ca bhumata devanaga mahirika punyang tang anumoditva sirang rakantu loka sasanang etavata ca amhehi sapadang punya sapadang sabe deva sabe buddha sabe sata anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Transference of merits to a departed. Idang me nyatinang hotu, sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyatinang hotu, sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyatinang hotu, sukita hontu nyatayo. Aspiration, imina punya kamena, mame bala samagamo. Satang samagamo hotu yavani bana patiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, announcements from Terence.
Okay, like we mentioned just now, the meditation retreat at the end of this month, 26 and 27 of June 2021. You can scan the QR code to register or go to msbs.my for further information. Thank you, Bante. Do you have
No
anything
problem.
else?
Yep, nothing. So next week still have a session.
Yeah, Bante.
Okay, so see you all next week. All right, good night.
Night, Bante. Thank you.
Bye.
Sadhu. Sadhu, Bante.
Sadhu.
Satu, satu, satu.